time I've been up to Ciudad de Real Madrid, the Real Madrid city as it's called, and it's the second time. I've got no idea how to get in. I actually gave up the first time, so hoping that's not going to be the case this time around. Go back the way you came, and it's just up there on the left. It says this is security guy. Not so sure, pal. Right, about a 30-minute walk around basically the whole complex, and we're here. I despise Real Madrid more than anything else in the world right now. So after walking all the way around the complex for about an hour and a half, which is twice as long as it should have taken to get there, they have dropped the bombshell at the ticket office that the game is only for members. So I am not a member of Real Madrid, which means I'm not getting in. So it would have been very nice if they'd made that clear on their website, which we looked at this afternoon. They did say that only members could buy tickets in advance on the website, but they did not say that the general public couldn't go to the game. So yeah, no game for me tonight. Plan B, not sure what plan B is yet, to be honest. I don't think there is a plan B, apart from go home and cry, maybe. So I've picked myself up, I've dusted myself off after last night's disaster, and I'm raring to go with plan C, which is the Tercera División, which is a fourth tier match between Alcobendas and Colmenar Viejo. What do you mean you've never heard of them? So I'm on the way to Alcobendas right now. It's actually not in Madrid. Technically it's a city in its own right. I think there are over 100,000 inhabitants in Alcobendas. But because Madrid has grown so much over the last 10 or 15 or 20 years, it's kind of swallowed up Alcobendas, and if you look on the map, it's basically in the outskirts of the city. Right, here we go. I'm here. Let's see if I can get in this time. That would be nice. I'm in, so the first hurdle has been overcome. I've already achieved more than I did yesterday. Entrance to this game was €10, which seems a bit steep given that I went to a match last week that was a level higher than this and it was free, but obviously I was completely spoiled last week. So €10, yeah, we'll see if this is good value for money or not. I guess really it depends on the quality of the game, doesn't it? So as I said earlier, this is Tercera División football, which means third division, but it's actually the fourth tier. So today we've got Alcobendas against Colmenar Viejo. Now Alcobendas are the home team. They're quite a new team. They were founded in 1995. They started in the regional leagues, but they quickly made their way up through the divisions. So they went from the 8th tier to the 4th tier in just 11 years, and they've actually been in the Tercera, so at this level, since 2006. This is their 12th year in a row in this division. So they actually won the league in 2010 and 2011, but they didn't go up. I'm actually planning to do a video on the second B and third divisions and kind of explaining how promotion and relegation works. The only thing is I need to actually work it out myself first because it's bloody complicated. They've also made the promotion playoffs a few times in the last few years, including last season, but they didn't go up. They've not quite been able to get across the line, so that's going to be their objective for this season. As for Colmenar Viejo, they fluctuated mostly between the 3rd and 4th tiers over the last few decades. They were actually promoted last season from the Preferente, which is the division below. They won their league, so this season they'll be looking to consolidate in the Tercera. The last time they were at this level, they only managed to stay for 1 year. Now I have to say, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Colmenar Viejo. My girlfriend is actually from Colmenar Viejo, so I should really be supporting them, and of course I will be supporting them, darling, if you're watching. Yesterday's results saw Alcobendas drop to 5th place. They were actually top of the table. They'd taken 7 points from their first 9 available, and if they win today they will go back to the top of the table. Colmenar, on the other hand, are 16th. That's out of 20 teams. They've drawn 2 of their first 3 matches. They lost the other one. Both of their draws were at home, and they lost their previous away match by 2-0. So this game is being played at the Estadio Luis Aragonés. We had Vicente del Bosque last week and Luis Aragonés this week, so ex-Spain managers. So it seems to me, Julian Lopetegui, if you are watching, which I'm sure you will be, you're going to have to win either the European Championships or the World Cup. if you want to get a stadium named after you. Now, it's taken me about an hour to get here from my place. I live quite centrally in Madrid, so there is the commuter train which can take you all the way up to Alcobendas. You can then walk for about 20 minutes after that. I think there are buses that come up here as well. There's a metro as well, but either way you're going to have to walk a little bit if you want to get to the stadium. Right, I'm heading into the stand. See if I can find a free seat up there. Half time, 0-0. It's not been a great spectacle so far, I have to say, and there's not really been a great deal of quality on show. Alcobendas did come very, very close to opening the scoring. They hit the woodwork. They were quite threatening early on. They had some nice pieces of play where they were, playing balls up to the front men, and they were quite good at holding the ball up. And they were getting a lot of midfield runners bursting past them. And one such move led to that effort on goal that I just described. But that's kind of fizzled out as the halves wore on, and Colmenar have come back into it. They've not really had a lot of width going forward, and I think that's really been their downfall. They're trying to thread passes through spaces that are just totally non-existent, and their best effort on goal was one that came totally out of the blue from about 30 or 35 yards, which brought the goalkeeper into action. Well, that's been as close as we've come to a goal. It's 0-0 at half time. There's not been a great deal of atmosphere in the stands, I have to say, either. But who knows, maybe if we get a goal or two, things might liven up a wee bit. I may have to go and get that one. Penalty for Alcobendas. Back in the day, are we doing a red? Oh, it's a second yellow. There's a red. He's just been given team lines by a guy who I'm assuming is part of the media team for Alcobendas. So he must have recognised me. It must be one of my 29 subscribers. It was very kind of him anyway. There was snow on it, that one. This has got to be the last chance for Colmenar to salvage something. Whoa! Oh, free header. So that's it, guys. Full time 1-0 to Alcobendas, and the result was pretty much never in doubt. A after they scored the only goal of the game. They started the first half, sorry, they started the second half pretty much in the same way as they started the first. They were getting bodies forward from midfield in support of the front players, and they were linking up pretty well, and that's what led to the penalty and the only goal. And Colmenar pretty much had no chance after that, after the red card. They did have one moment where they had a counter-attacking chance, and it looked as if they were going to have 3 against 2, but there was a tactical foul in midfield which was totally worth taking a yellow card for, and that pretty much stopped them in their tracks. I think Alcobendas, they had chances to score a second goal. There's a couple that they blazed over the bar when they really should have done better, but I think in general their decision making in the final third was not the best, and their final ball was pretty poor overall as well, and that kind of stopped them from winning the game a bit more comfortably than they did. Anyway, I'm really glad I was actually able to get to a game this weekend, because last night, after my failed attempt to go to Real Madrid-Castilla, it did not look like it was going to happen. So it was my first experience of the Tercera División. I've obviously got nothing to compare it to, although I have to say I didn't think the quality was particularly good. I think the quality or the level of the football last week in the second B was quite a bit higher, in fact. Anyway, it doesn't matter for Alcobendas, they're back to the top of the table. So they've now got 10 points from their first 4 games, so I'm sure I'll have some more chances to compare them to some of the other challengers at the top of the table in the coming weeks and months. Anyway, the quiz question for this week, I'll start as usual by giving you the answer to last week. So the question from last week was, Vicente del Bosque is the only manager to have achieved what? And the answer was, Vicente del Bosque is the only manager to have won the World Cup, the Champions League and the European Championship. As for this week, something I've noticed while researching the last couple of games is that there's quite a lot of teams in second or Segunda B and Tercera that are, were formed very recently. So my question for this week is kind of the opposite of this. What is the oldest football team in Spain? What is the oldest football team in Spain? This actually may be quite easy for some of you, but at the same time I think there'll be a lot of you that might not know the answer to this, but you might want to have a guess. So if you think you know the answer, leave a comment below. Also leave a comment to let me know what you've thought of this video. As always, if you could subscribe to the Team on Tour on YouTube, that would be absolutely amazing. Also remember, you can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram and on Twitter. Next week, I'm probably not going to get to a game, but I do have something up my sleeve, so I'm hoping to put out a video for you in any case. So I'll see you again then.